everyone. Robert Garza, fortunate to serve as president of Palo Alto College. Excited to be here today with EJ Moreno here at Palo Alto. Welcome, EJ.
Hi, Dr. Garza. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, so EJ, tell me a little bit about athletics. Tell me about the why. So we hear and have heard that students connect, the more connection that they have with an institution, the more successful that they are academically and their ability to transfer and then ultimately go to their four-year institution. So tell me a little bit about the program here at Palo Alto College and why it's so important for students to get connected.
Yes, I'd love to. So the Palo Alto College Aquatic and Athletic Center recognizes that disciplined approaches to athletic and academics are paramount to the success of each student athlete. Students are held accountable for adhering to processes, procedures, policies, and expectations outlined by the district and by our league. This ensures that the students are staying active in their classes, that they're engaged, but first most that they are there to get an education. So students must abide by specific regulations set out by the Aquatic and Athletic Center, and this includes tutoring, grade checks, community service, and a commit to graduate form. Again, we're very strategic in our way of trying to keep these student athletes engaged to ensure that they either move on to a four-year institution or go right into the workforce and hopefully contribute back into the community.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, and EJ, I've heard that also that the female athletes here at Palo Alto College has traditionally outperformed every student here on campus academically. And I think that that has to do with the tutoring requirements and then the expectations that you all lay out in front, because it's not only about playing the game, but it's also working very hard academically to get where students want to go. So how do you foresee, so you have this Letterman's jacket, which is a new thing here, and bringing that points of pride and belonging for our athletes that work so hard to not only work academically, but also represent our institution and the Alamo colleges as a whole. So tell me a little bit about what your strategy is for this upcoming year, particularly during the pandemic. And, you know, one of the other things that we've talked about in athletics is volunteerism, is making sure that folks volunteer and provide service. So can you tell me a little bit about what's to come for this year?
Yes, for sure. So this past year, of course, you've known what's been happening, and the student athletes have been very understanding and knowing of the situation. Of course, they would love to be back on campus and playing, but as far as this semester, we're really looking, trying to phase back into athletics by starting hopefully some small practices in October, and that will seek approval. But besides that, we're really trying to do really every avenue that we can to keep the student athlete engaged. So this past semester, we've done things like drive-throughs where we've celebrated the student athlete success academically, as well as some athletic things that they did before the pandemic. We've done things like send out mail cards as means of motivation to keep them engaged, but as well as an opportunity for them to reach out to us if anything is happening. So as we go into this semester, I'm hopeful that we will be able to come back in some format. If that starts really small and we grow gradually into practices, I'm all for it. But I guess the main point is to really keep them engaged, even though we're not particularly playing games. We want to keep them engaged in other ways. So the letter jacket, I think, is going to be a real staple in our program, especially moving forward, as we're able to recognize them each semester, not only athletically, but academically. And hopefully we're able to present them with patches throughout the semester. And as they graduate, they'll have, you know, a full recognition of academics and athletics presented on their jackets.
That's absolutely wonderful. That is fantastic. And so EJ, so tell me about the Nat Gym. So the big question is Natatorium Gymnasium. It's been closed. Is it going to open? Is it ever going to open? Do you have any insights on that?
Yes, sir, I do. So we do get calls every day into the office, asking those questions. So the renovations are scheduled to go to the board in September, and we hope to have the facility completed by spring of 2023. So this has been scaled back because when the building was scaled back, a lot more damage was unveiled than originally anticipated, and that caused a little delay on the project. But as we go into that renovation, we are seeking other ways to bring the community on the campus. So in the fall, we look to unveil a new outdoor multi-court system that will be renovated from 2 old tennis courts. We will still have the 4 remaining tennis courts. But this is another opportunity for the community, staff, and faculty to come on the campus and really utilize the campus, especially while the natatorium's closed. So this multi-court will offer things like pickleball, basketball, volleyball, foursquare, and then an open area to conduct other activities as far as, art or maybe if we put on events that can kind of be used for that. So we are very excited about that. We're happy that we can provide this to the community as we wait for the natatorium to be renovated. But we are very excited and hope that that gets started soon.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, EJ. Thank you so much for joining us here today to talk about the athletics program. Any final words or any shout outs to any of your athletes?
Yes, shout out to all student athletes that are still, enrolled. Some of them that are thinking you're coming back, come back, please. We miss you. We look forward to being back on campus, and I'm just as eager as you all are to get back engaged on campus. And lastly, Dr. Garza, thank you for having me and giving me this platform to speak on aquatics and athletics. And you've been a superb leader during this time and just been really compassionate. I thank you for that.
All right. Thank you, EJ.